We have more phone callers on the line. The next one is Jim from Bay County. He has a waiver question. Jim, you can go ahead with your question now.
First of all, I want to thank you all for this wonderful public service that you all do, informing the general public, about their rights. I've noticed anytime you go to a hospital or you go to a doctor, they want you to sign a waiver. A lot of times you're in pain, and a lot of times they'll have everything written to where it'll take you 10 hours to read it, and they want you to sign it. What I'm wondering is if they require this every time that somebody goes to a hospital, how can they be sued?
Right, and Jim, and that's something that they are obviously, as you pointed out, trying to do to limit their exposure and liability, but it's obviously problematic when you're signing it in a situation, especially when there's emergency care that you need in order to facilitate that. So there's a lot of issues about whether or not that's enforceable. It all turns on the specific language and the circumstances, but as a general matter, they're going to have a very, very difficult time, for example, enforcing that with respect to a tort claim for medical malpractice based on something you signed when you came in there to get your much needed health care, especially if it's under an emergency situation. The worst thing you can do is go through there and start making pen and ink changes and showing all the ways that you want to change that release and how you want to formulate the agreement, because that's going to connote the fact that you have actually been into essentially bargaining with them and coming to some sort of agreement. So unfortunately, it's something that's a necessary evil to get that coverage, but in all likelihood, it's something that you can ultimately navigate around depending on the circumstances and what your particular issue is.
That was a great question, because I've always wondered about that too. You know, you go and they throw those forms in front of you and you're like, I'm bleeding out.
Right.
Can I
Just
get
do
the
whatever
care
it takes
I
to
need?
get you your care right there at that time, because that's the most important thing.
Exactly.